Shalom, brothers and sisters. All praise to the Most High, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Kakadash, Ba'ashem, Ru'akadash. There's some things that's been going on. Number one, I got threatened. The second threat I have on my life. So, I'm putting it out there. I'm not worried about it. The Most High told me that He has me under His wing, protected. He has a hedge around me. So all the threats that I've heard and the shouts to my window and through my window and from downstairs, because I stay on the second floor on a very busy street in Seattle. So, yeah, I'm not worried about it. All things will take their course the way they're supposed to. Don't try to control the situation, but don't let the situation control you either. The Father said He will protect His chosen ones. He said He will protect His 144,000. He will protect us. So all His prophets as well, all those brothers and sisters out there on the highway and byways that's giving this truth up, that's regurgitating all the garbage that we've been fed all of our lives, and giving this truth up to bring the true people of Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, their due, just due. As you know, this is not a physical war, this is a spiritual war. And in order to win this war, we have to become one, on one accord, together, as one. All moving in the same direction, all praying in the same direction. That goes for my brothers in Jamaica, my brothers in Canada, and my brothers around the world, the whole world, even the few that's even in Russia. What it's going to take is for us to be on one accord, one mindset. He's already, you kind of already know who we are, and we already know who you are. This is not about ego. Because the Most High doesn't care about your ego. He doesn't care about your pomp and circumstance, meaning what you parade around in and all these other things. That's not important to Him either. What's important to my Father is He wants you to be humble. We know these people are out here scared to death. Red skies, earthquakes, double hurricanes, this is part of the wrath, and to them they're just brushing it off like, it's an anomaly and it's going to go away. But the truth is, we know this is not going away. I've accepted it. You know it because you're studying it. They won't accept it, but that's not our problem. Our problem is to become one, as one, on one accord. And from what I see and what I hear, there's a lot of egos involved with this, and that's not where we should be. But this is how it's got to play out. And it's not so much the tares from the wheat, because we should be all moving in the same direction, and praying, and kneeling, and fasting, and celebrating, and eating together. All come together. This is what the Father wants. So I have a few things I wanted to read, so let me get to it. Let's get to Deuteronomy 29, verse 2, and it reads, Moses was summoned to all of Israel and said to them, you saw everything that my father did before your eyes in the land of Pharaoh, to all his servants and to all his land. I have a couple of precepts. Exodus 19:4. You have seen what I did to the Egyptians, and I have carried you on eagle's wings and brought you to myself. That means He woke you up. You see what's being done around you. So, it's time to be on one accord with each other and stop fussing and fighting about who's who and what's what, and you can't bring the mentality, you cannot bring the mentality that we've been taught in leadership here in this country, in this existence. You just can't. This is a totally different kind of leadership. This is a totally different kind of thing. It's not about your ego, man, or how much money you got, or how well you know the verses. You know, I didn't ask for this. This was given to me. The Most High knows my heart more so than He knows anything else. He knows what my heart and my intentions are. He knows that I love my people. And I've been suffering for this a long time, but it's not really a suffer. You know, I want to call it a burden. It has been given to me as a gift, because He said, I will remove kings from their thrones, and I will give it to the meek and humble, and show them. I will take the strong and the I guess that you would look at it as, I will take the person who everybody admires, with muscle bound, and give it to the weak, and make that strong person humble. So, with that being said, this is not about those kind of things, man. This is about us coming together in love and in harmony. In harmony, you know, which is something that you have to remove your ego from, and the pageantry and the symbols. You know, those things mean nothing to the Father, man. You know, it's just a bunch of stuff, just like the stuff we have. You know, stuff you have in your house. You know, those things, just stuff. Cars, stuff. You know, just tools to get through, to get by, to move forward spiritually. You know, while we walk around this earthly body, trying to live on this earthly planet with these demons, man. So, let's move right on to Deuteronomy 29, still on the 10th chapter. And it says, today you are standing, all of you, before God. You, your heads of tribe, and your leadership, and your officers, all men of Israel. So, today, we're bearing witness to me, talking to you, receiving a message from Yah to pass on to you. I try to keep it real simple. I don't believe in, like I said, I don't even like being in front of this camera, man. But I seem to be the most recorded guy in America at this point. Like I said, I've been threatened once by a police officer, not from some stranger yesterday, just walking down the street, and I don't even have the exposure that you guys have, you know, and the following is, it's just me and Yah, you know, and I'm kind of cool with that now. I used to try to force, not force, but I yearned for a relationship. I yearned for my wife and kids and the children that I have, that I could show them and teach them about how this world really works, which is, it's a bad world, and it doesn't work well. So you have to find and put your trust in the Most High, which I've been doing for a very long time. You know, He sheltered me, He took care of me. He was there when I needed protection. He was there with the Ruach Kadash, the common sense to move or get away from situations, or not to react at that particular time. So that is a blessing within itself, you know, to have Him bless me to be here at this time and point. This has all been written, and it will perceive and follow itself through. No man on this planet can stop it. That's for those people who know, you know, is trying to, you know, do whatever you're trying to do. You can't stop this. Moving right along. Still in Deuteronomy 29, we go to verse 12. The purpose is that you should enter into the covenant of the Most High, your God, in this oath, which your God is making with you today. I am not God. Let's get this very clear. I'm just His messenger, and that's His message. Make this covenant in front of you, the elders, your children, and all those brothers and sisters on the highways and byways is just risking their life for this, because my life is under threat. Yeah. So, we're establishing this covenant. We're breaking everything down so we can all come together as one. You know, the biggest thing about being raised in America is that, especially for our community, we all want to stand out. And that comes from being kings and queens and children from kings and queens and so forth. But the thing is, in order for us to really make this, to perceive and to go forward with his master plan, is to come together. And I'm going to push this and push this and push this. Pray for those who are not awake. Pray for those who should be awake. And pray for those who, the strangers, put it that way, those who are not in of our family but will be branched in because of their faith in the Most High and believing in Yah. So, I have 2 more verses to go through. Get back in this phone. So, we're going to establish a covenant today amongst ourselves, our brethren and our sisters, so that he can establish you today for himself a people so that, so he can establish you today for himself a people so that for you he will be God, as he said you as he is to be sworn to your ancestors from Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Now, I have a precept that goes there. It's Genesis chapter 6, verse 18. But I will establish my covenant with you, and you will come into the ark, you, your sons, your wives, and you will all come together. And then I also have another precept, Exodus 19:6. And you will be a kingdom of mine, a nation set apart. These are the words are to speak to the people of Israel. That was my job. And then another precept, Genesis 17:7. I am establishing my covenant between you and me, along with your descendants after you, generation after generations, as an everlasting covenant to be God for you and your descendants after you. Salaki. To be a God for you and your descendants after you. But I'm making this covenant, this oath, only with you. Or precepts. Exodus 19:5. Now if you will pay careful attention to what I am saying and keep my covenants, then you will be my own treasure from among all the people, for all the earth is mine. Isaiah 59:21. And as for me, this is my covenant with them, my spirit who rests on you, and my words which I put in your mouth will not depart from your mouth, or from the mouth of your children, or from the mouth of your children's children, now, on, and forever. More precepts. Jeremiah 32:40. I will make with them an everlasting covenant, not to turn away from them, but to do them good. I will put fear of me in their hearts, so they will not leave me. Jeremiah 50:5, verse 5. They will ask the way to Zion and turn their faces toward it, and will say, come join us yourselves by an everlasting covenant, never to be forgotten. Ezekiel 16 verse 16. Ezekiel 16. And verse 62. And I will reestablish my covenant with you. Then you will know that I am Yah. Ezekiel 37:26. I will make a covenant of peace with them, an everlasting covenant. I will give to them, increase their numbers, and set my sanctuary among them forever. And the last precept. Hebrews 8, verse 7 and 8. Indeed, the first covenant has given ground for fault finding. There would have not been for a second one. For God does find fault with the people when he says, see, the days are coming, Yah, when I establish over the house of Israel, over the house of Judah, a new covenant. So we know a new covenant is coming. We're still living in the old covenant. Most people say that the covenants change. If you listen to the Catholic Church, the Christian Church, and all these other churches, all of the denominations that came out of the Christian religion, the covenant's been broken. It's okay to eat pork, swine, shrimp, mussels, whatever, But we know those people who are truly Yah's children know that you can't eat the filter food that filter and cleans up the atmosphere as well as the water, as well as you. They clean up behind you. So if you eat that, then you're just an abomination. You should know better. Rather than I'm making both with him who is standing here with you, me sitting, today before Yah and our God, also with him who is not here with us today. That's the last precepts. I have 2. Genesis chapter 6, verse 18. But I will establish my covenant with you. You will come into the ark, you, your son, your wife, and your sons' wives with you. And that's the last precept. Acts 2 and 39. For this promise is for you, for your children, and for those far away, as many as Yah are our God, and we call our God. Now, there's a few other things I want to touch on, and then I'm gone, because, like I said, I'm not a Hollywood star, and although I'm in front of the camera all the time, and people taking pictures and whatnot. They used to like to catch me when I was in my awful worst, when I was whatever, drunken, stupor, binge, whatever, and they thought that was funny. But now I don't see them taking as many pictures when I'm, here, and I won't be running away from my realities anymore. So, each and every tribe here in this place we call Babylon must come together to bear witness to each other and to come as one accord. Now, in order to do that, we have to pray. We have to pray for supplication, and that we become on one accord. Those who will not agree, well, we know what happens with them. They'll be on the outside. That's how that goes. And, those who want to set up their own and think they're running things. See, that's the ego taking over. The ego takes over, and then you're starting to build things, and you're starting to do things, and you're having money coming in and whatnot, and this, that, and the other, and you start feeling good, but it's the wrong kind of feel good. It feels good to the ego, but it doesn't feel good to Yah, the spirit. So be aware of that, and suppress that ego, because it's easy to let it go and let it run, especially when you're in charge of a group of men or women or families or whatever. Like I said, Yah only wants humble and meek people, and I don't know. I can be as meek, but I can also want to chop your head off too. So it depends on where you push me, how far I allow you to push me. The other thing is I want to make peace among the brothers and sisters, to be on one accord, so we can move forward, because the time is at hand. And to the brothers and sisters around the world as well. We can't exclude them, although sometimes we focus on only what's here in front of us in the place we are, but we have to think abroad as well. Like the people, our brothers and sisters in Jamaica, our brothers and sisters in Africa, our brothers and sisters in Europe, our brothers and sisters in Canada, our brothers and sisters all over this globe, because this is not just an American thing. This is all over. When he woke us up, he woke so many of us up at one time. I mean, it was weird. Like it just hit me. But see, I've been resistant of the church because I've been in church for a very long time. Matter of fact, I went to a Catholic school, and you know, had so much religion forced down me that I turned my back on the book, which was right there all the time. And maybe this is why the Father, my Father, has put me in this position to accept and learn from younger brothers and sisters out here who really dedicated their time reading and studying, and even to those brothers out there who are elders like myself, who have taken the time, who are forced. But yeah, I've been through so many religions and studies too. It's just I put the book down and walked away from it because I saw so much falsehood in it. And I'm back. I mean, I'm not back as far as knowing. Put it this way: I tried to live the book more or less than try to read it. And saying that, I mean that I hold no grudges. I'm not jealous against any man and what he has accomplished in this world. I don't care what you have. That doesn't make me. What you have, it makes you. And if you care to share with how you got it, then that's one thing. But I believe in working hard and getting what I want, and not doing it illegally. So that's how I look at it. I'll never be jealous of a man or his wife or his friends or anything else, because that is not a burden that I choose to carry in my heart and in my mind, what you have and what you don't have. Now, on the other hand, on the opposite spectrum of that, I am willing to help and give advice only to those who are ready to receive it. I will not be giving advice and trying to help anyone that don't want to be helped, because it's a waste of time. And you know, there will always be someone who needs the help and the advice. So, what else did I have on this list? Atonement is coming up. So, this is my prayer for my atonement, that I make peace with my Father for my sins and gain trust among the people that I love and have loved all my life, and we get closer to Mount Zion. So with that being said, all praise to the Most High Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Rakakadash, by Hashem, Ru'akadash. Peace, Shalom, Shalom.